Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to week 6 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. I am James FNX, and I'm joined today by Tracy M. Tracy, how's it going today?
It's going good. Looking forward to this matchup. Looks a bit lopsided from the records, but I actually think this is going to be a pretty good one.
Yeah, we've got on the left-hand side, we've got Did You Check Your Boot with werfjig. They're sitting at 21 points. And on the right-hand side, we've got ChelseyxLynn for But We're Buddies on 0 points. Unfortunately, they are still looking for their first win of the season. But these two runners know each other pretty well. I think we're going to see a lot of friendly banter when we get done with this, but a good race overall.
Yeah, and werfjig and Did You Check Your Boot right in the thick of things in that Misery Mire division. Lots of teams still in the running there. They're at 21 points, tied with WJPDTB, with 3 teams following them at 18 points. Shacktool's Digging Game having just clinched a playoff spot yesterday with their win, but still 2 playoff spots up for grabs amongst those other teams. Chelsea, of course, with But We're Buddies, wanting to get their first win and play a little spoiler here.
Yeah, so we're starting things off. We're just going to start in the Sanctuary. We find Bombos in the Sanctuary chest, while ChelseyxLynn gets a big 20 at Link's house. So a little divergence right off the bat here.
Yeah, I like the early divergence, and yeah, Chelsea even going to go all the way to Uncle. Kind of I like this play better in key sanity modes because you have so many different possibilities of items. It's just a little less likely you'll get those bombs or those rupees at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I agree. It's oftentimes you're just going to sit here looking for end up farming. So we find a hook shot at the Uncle.
That's a nice early pickup.
As neither our tier 1 tree pull or our bush crab are given anything of value today, just some small magic, and there's 300 rupees. So Chelsea's going to have plenty of money to buy bombs as she heads over to Kakariko.
And we see a shield sitting there on the lumberjack, so we're not picking that up. Definitely can't see runners going out of their way for a shield. Even if Agate gets killed early and that bombos. Okay, so now both of them have that bombos, which may or may not be needed.
Yeah, bombos, the more flexible of the medallions in terms of requirements. You could use it for ice palace as well as unlocking Misery Mire Turtle Rock, as we find Book of Medora just sitting out. Someone checked it out and just dropped it in the Lost Woods.
Yeah, if you're going to find the book, I like to find it early. Late books are just annoying. And a bow. So some early progression for both Eastern and Desert, and werfjig just going to save and quit out of that.
Yeah, I suspect werfjig's going to check Link's house and then take a south route to Kakariko, farm these 50-50 bomb spots.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Meanwhile, Chelsea's going to have the money, so not a big deal in terms of buying bombs. Once she gets to Kakariko, she's going to pick up the book and the bow here in just a moment.
Werfjig going to go ahead and do Uncle, and he'll get that 300 rupees and that hook shot, and that'll help him out. Might still make a play for those 50-50 bushes just to save a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. He might be hoping for arrows to maybe make an early play on escape here. He's not going to get paid off there.
Nope. Unless he chooses to use a bomb or the pot to kill the green guards, and maybe they're in a prize pack with early arrows.
Yeah, arrows could be the stun prize too. We don't know yet.
Oh, he's going to test that stun prize. It's just a single rupee. Maybe more stun prize. Okay, now we're going to get into Kakariko proper, and Chelsea going to give us a look at Blind's Hut.
Yeah, and werfjig is going to take the south route. So we'll get over on his side in just a moment. But here we go with Chelsea. 5 big checks in here. Going to skip the bomb wall for now. Hope for bombs in one of these first 4 chests, either here or in the well. Desert Palace map. Mire big key. A compass. Skull Woods map. So nothing but dungeon items in Blind's Hut today. werfjig getting our first look at race game, and it's a big key. So he'll be using that bomb to get that item right away. Big 20, another compass. Another big 20. and a map. So nothing going in these two high-density locations
Wow.
in Kakariko. So Chelsea is going to have to go buy bombs.
Yeah, not a lot in Kakariko. We do see a big key on the race game, though.
Bottle Vendor has his gloves for us. That's a nice pickup.
Eastern big key. Oh, we can full clear Eastern. Not quite in logic since we don't have any fire source, but that's not going to stop these runners if they decide to go there.
Yeah, absolutely not. With a hook shot, it's not that hard to navigate through. Sword is a little bit easier, but hook shot is just fine. A big 20, and then a big key in the library. Big 20 in the back of Tavern. So just gloves so far in Kakariko.
Okay, Chelsea buys those bombs, so she'll be able to check those other locations. Gambling on finding bombs in those drops, in those drop downs, in Blind's Hut there. Not a terrible play, but unfortunately, if you don't get them, then you do have to come back here for those 2 checks.
Yeah, with the way this is routed out, I would suspect Chelsea gets to go wherever she wants first, but it's a lot closer than it looked like with werfjig making that lumberjack check earlier.
And just the compass. I mean, I don't mind compasses. I think they're useful, but yeah, if somebody told me there was a compass there, that I was going to go all the way down to buy bombs and back up to bomb the wall, I'm not picking that up.
Yeah, absolutely not. Just a piece of heart in the chicken hut. That's our first look at that from werfjig. So one more check here in Kakariko we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, werfjig will have the advantage of being able to just do these in one go, though. So that'll be good for him. I'll find if Kakariko's pretty much, another compass. Pretty much all about those gloves. But gloves in a very important pickup.
Yeah, you're going to need those gloves. But both runners are going to be disappointed with what little Kakariko's offered us.
At this point, I'd probably follow those gloves straight to the back of Escape before heading over to either South Shore or Eastern. Did Chelsea completely skip the...
Chelsea did not do Chicken Hut. She chose to go up and do the 2 bomb locations first.
I think she's forgetting it. It's not going to hurt her, but... yeah. That's an easy one to forget when you do things a little out of order.
Yeah, I've never once been burned by that.
No, me neither. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, Chelsea gonna see the big key on the race game and realize that she has to go back and get that. You do see runners a little more often blind check this, just because it's more likely to be something necessary.
So werfjig will pick up his last chest here and save and quit.
Let's see if he does back of Escape.
Yeah, a couple options here. South Shore, back of Escape, Eastern Palace. Looks like he's starting from Links, or starting from Sanctuary, so it will be back of Escape play.
Yeah, I like to do this before doing the front. Less of a thing in Key Sanity, but I just find it easier to... if you're going to do Dark Cross, I like doing it, especially if you're doing it in the dark. I'd rather do it from the front. So just get
Absolutely.
this over here.
Chelsea's going to take a different route here, starting at Link's house. We'll see if she heads over to Eastern or down to the South Shore. It looks like it's going to be a play on the Eastern Palace area. So we get a GT small key from werfjig's side.
Yeah, nothing immediately needed there, but that blue mail would be nice, especially if you're going to go do Eastern. You do have the one dark room it's pretty tricky. The one to get to the big key, ironically, the one that's not in logic with the fire rod is I think the easiest dark room in the game. But the one to get to the back of Eastern, that was a little trickier. And right now, Chelsea on 3 hearts green mail. I have no doubt she can do it, but it's certainly not going to be an easy one to do.
Yeah, and it's certainly just going to be a slow go. Even with blue mail, it makes it a little bit easier, but it's still not going to be a quick solution. There's one of our Aghanim's tower keys in Damned. Chelsea does pick up a couple hearts in the back of Sarasla's hut.
Okay, and werfjig continuing on over to the mini Moldorm cave.
He's going to pick up some arrows here. This is pretty smart.
Yeah, it's gonna make that mini Moldorm cave. Well, actually, he's got hook shot, so it's gonna be pretty easy regardless.
Yeah, but it means,
really
it means he won't have to worry about farming arrows in Eastern Palace if he chooses to go that route. Also makes front of escape play a lot more reasonable now.
No, absolutely. Nothing wrong with farming those arrows. Just I was attributing to mini Moldorm, and with the hook shot, not going to make a difference there. Rupees and a small key to Turtle Rock. That's an important one. A map. The useless map. Bombs. And ether, which may or may not be needed. And a pod small key over on Chelsea's side. First of many.
Yeah, the most common
pod
item.
and Turtle Rock having them. Yeah. Yeah, that's true too.
The most common item in the game outside of
rupees.
Those, yeah, there's so many keys for those two dungeons.
And, you know, TR, we need at least 3 to complete the dungeon, 4 if we have to do lava checks. Pod, several locations in Pod needing all 6 to be in logic, but there's ways to break around that. And a Skullwood small key, which is nice to have one of, because it saves falling down the hole and not being able to get out to full clear Skullwoods, but don't need any more of those. 1 is plenty.
Yeah, runners are going to be looking for 1 Skullwood small key, 1 Ice Palace small key, and 1 Mire small key to really speed those dungeons up, but none of them are actually required.
Yeah. None of them are hard required. Some of them are logically required in certain locations within their dungeons. And bombs, the next check at Eastern. And it looks like werfjig heading over for the Eastern play.
So far, neither of these locations have given us a lot of value.
No, they really haven't.
Big fiver in the big chest of Eastern Palace. So we've just found ether medallion and a blue mail in these checks so far.
Yeah, and these last 2 checks are not going to be in logic for Chelsea without any sort of fire source. This one she's doing right now needs a lamp. The one in the back could use a lamp or a fire rod. We don't have either of those. We do have that book, so it could be the desert is the answer to our progression. We also have Zora on the table with that glove.
We did find out, werfjig did talk to Sarasa. We find out that Misery Mire is our green pendant today. Chelsea doing a pretty good job getting through this first set of dark rooms. Keeping yourself over 3 hearts, pretty important. You're going to take a bunch of damage trying to get through this next room quickly. Does get that damage boost. We'll see what's in the vanilla big chest. Just some arrows.
Some out of logic arrows. But honestly, this is why you do these checks. Like, we talk about doing things out of logic. But a lot of times doing the out of logic checks is just a way to make things more efficient. You don't want to have to come all the way back here because suddenly you have a lamp, 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, or late in the game. You just want to be able to be done and not have to come back.
Yep. So this is the hard room in Eastern, dark-wise. There's a couple of these Igors that are sitting around you have to find in the dark. Wait, one of them has a key, one of them just has sadness, and they both deal a ton of damage to you, a heart apiece in green mail.
Chelsea doing a very good job getting through it, though.
Yeah, really well done by ChelseyxLynn, using those arrows to kind of sight where the Igor is and then wake it up and attack it from there.
Another option with that bombos is you could just use the bombos to get rid of all the other enemies, then all you have left to deal with is the Igors.
Do need a sword for that, so not going to happen right now.
You do need a sword for that. That is a very good point, so forget what I said.
Chelsea steadfastly refusing to use quick swap.
She might have it on, but I know it's not. I don't think she uses it a lot. All right, now to the Armos Knights. Oh, fires the extra arrow there. Although I don't think it... Did that not kill him? That was weird. Like I swear she fired 6 arrows sword. I swear she fired 6 arrows there, but apparently didn't quite hit the right spot on the less armor.
I think she fired 5 because she fired an extra one into the wall and is on 11.
Oh,
so.
okay. So if we fired into the wall, then it's obviously not going to hit it. And of course, we end a sword. So our out of logic sword, behind a lamp or fire rod somewhere.
Yeah, no one's going to complain about an out of logic sword, though. We'll see where Chelsea heads next. Probably South Shore. It's interesting to see who our first runner is going to make a play over to desert area.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be the next play, right? Because we don't have enough money for Zora, which would be the other option.
Yeah, could be 2 different ways to do a houlihan here for our runner. So that might be your next choice for one of our runners.
Yep, that would be an option.
But Zora is such a slow check.
Especially if you have to, even if it's just houlihan to get the money, it's that is really that's quite the time sink. So I suspect we'll see werfjig head over to desert after this. Chelsea can do the South Shore checks, and I mean, if we know she's not going to get the money for it. If she did, then maybe you go to Zord. I mean, she's even going to grab these rupees, which you wouldn't normally grab if you weren't worried about money.
Yeah, she might be hoping for rupees out of Mini Boulder Cave to set up a fake flipper.
Yep.
Makes sense to grab the 20 there. It's not too terribly out of your way. Honestly, with that book as early as it was, I wouldn't have minded Chelsea just heading over to desert after that.
Yeah, I think that'd be, that's a good play. You got it gets you a Gina plus your desert checks. I mean, you can't do a lot in desert because you only get the 1 item right now. But you also have the desert ledge. So that's 3 items you can get, and 4 and a 4th you can look at.
werfjig is going to head over to desert now as Chelsea picks up her ether medallion. It looks like Chelsea is going to head over to Ice Card Cave. I don't know if werfjig checked this out or not.
I believe he did. We'll find out in just a second. werfjig's just seeing a big 20 sitting there on the ledge. If that'd been like a 300, then you pick it up. I'm not sure if you go out of your way for just a 20.
Yeah, probably going to stay sitting there. Chelsea going to have to be careful here. These crabs will kill her on contact at 1 heart. Even at 2 hearts would kill her on contact.
Yeah, she still hasn't picked up that blue mail in the back of Escape. Of course, at 1 heart, that wouldn't matter.
werfjig having a little adventure with these antlions. And Chelsea choosing not to do the fake flipper play. A lot still to check here. She's going to head to the back of Escape now and pick up that blue mail.
Well, the fake flipper play, all she can really do is look at the items sitting on the ledge, because no moon pearl means no sequence breaking the waterfall fairy, and not enough money for Zora, so it really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for her to do that.
Exactly. Meanwhile, werfjig in desert map chest finds the desert small key, so a couple extra checks out of here.
Interesting. Like, is this even key sanity?
Only netting 1 check here, and it's the lamps. That reports Eastern Palace in logic.
Okay, so that's swords in logic now. Yay!
This is really nice, though, finding that small key. Not only you get to access these 2 areas, you have a reason to exit on the right-hand side, putting you closer to Agna.
Yeah, it's worked out really well for werfjig. And
Chelsea's
Chelsea making a different choice is going to go do the front of Escape.
Yeah, these are, from Chelsea's perspective, it's the same number of checks, 4. These are a lot more compact and close to each other than the checks in desert. The one advantage of desert is you get to see one of your checks and know whether you have to do it or not. And there's sword number 2.
Straight to... Ooh.
So werfjig picks up his first sword.
Chelsea doing
Dark Cross,
Dark Cross first, yeah.
I like it. You're gonna want to death warp anyways at some point, and it's a lot easier to death warp in this area because you're gonna end up taking a bunch of damage anyways getting there.
True, especially in the dark. So I didn't even catch that werfjig didn't even finish the Eastern play.
Yeah, he's taking the next logical step here, which is up to Death Mountain. Passing up on Eastern for now, even though he has a bow, a lamp, and a big key.
So we're going to see a whole lot of darkness. No, wait, because werfjig has the lamp. We're going to see a whole lot of darkness on Chelsea's side, and not so much darkness on werfjig's side. But with this hook shot, we have East Death Mountain available to us, so there's a lot of checks you can do here.
I'm not sure where Chelsea's at right now.
Yeah, it looks like she's trying to find that chest in... Oh, wait, no, wait. She just went back through a door. That's not a good thing. You shouldn't be going back through doors when you're going to Darkcross. Oh, she must have gotten the item already, so she's looking for something to kill her.
Yeah, I didn't catch what was in Darkcross.
No, I missed it too. And that's our fault, because we no longer have the issue of not being able to see all the items in dark rooms.
Yeah, there was a nice update in the last set of major patches. Is some certain items were not visible in these Darkcross rooms when you grabbed them, which really made things in Key Sandy a little awkward.
That's a moon pearl sitting there in Spectacle Rock Cave, so werfjig gonna get that moon pearl earlier. It might be a while before he gets back to Eastern. He might try and pair it with Pod.
We got a Swamp Big in the first chest of Escape, not the most important big key.
At least you hope it's not the most important big key. It's basically a fetch quest at this point. Swamp being one of those dungeons that does not logically or hard require... Well, doesn't logically require the big key. We do have Swamp and Skull Woods are the two dungeons that don't logically don't require the big key at all. Ice and sometimes Hera do logically require the big key, but can be skipped. Hera, depending on where that hookshot is. Of course, in our case, we have the hookshot already, so Hera definitely a possibility if they want to do Hera before a big key.
Yeah, absolutely. werfjig checking out Paradox Cave. 7 big checks here. There's those mitts. So that is Dark World access.
That's a really nice mountain. And a small key to Pod in the bottom of the escape. So another useful small key.
It looks like Chelsea's gonna follow this book over to Desert, pick up her Master Sword and a lamp. Small key to Hera. That's one you don't want to see.
Yeah. Definitely not the favorite small key.
Map to Eastern Palace, so werfjig will know that Eastern Palace is a crystal. It doesn't really matter in all dungeons, but it turns out that Eastern Palace was kind of the bait in this early game.
Yeah, that bow often does that. I mean, not that you shouldn't clear... I mean, if you have a full clearable dungeon, nothing wrong with clearing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure werfjig's going to hope to find a mirror to do Pod and Eastern together in one fell swoop.
That would be really good for him. Chelsea can do Agina first. Maybe hoping to find something better for her desert play.
Yeah, I think I like this
a little bit slower.
It's a little bit slower,
but the extra opportunity of finding something good for desert, I think it can be worth it.
Or more than that,
she gets her Master Sword for it, but yeah.
Yeah, more than that, if there's something on Desert Ledge, you're not going to want to go collect that item in Desert Ledge and then walk all the way back over to Agana.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's a trade-off, really. Either you check Desert Ledge first and then do Agana last, or you do Agana first and then just prepare to exit. Don't even look at Desert Ledge and just go in. Or she may take a peek here. It's not that far away. Disease is a big 20.
Spiral Cave having a Turtle Rock small key. So now we got 2 of those.
Almost up to Critical Master Turtle Rock is werfjig to take these mitts and take a look at the 6 checks you can do on the dark side of Death Mountain, 2 here at Super Bunny and 4 in Hookshot Cave.
Doesn't quite get the hookshot clip through the blocks. We'll have to go up and around. Or could just walk down the stairs and reset the blocks. Either works.
It's probably faster to just walk down the stairs. You don't have the falling animation.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
There's our second Agnes Tower key.
Oh, nice. Don't have to look for castle tower keys today. That's always a nice feeling. Could mean that there's that you have to do it early. We don't have a hammer yet for West Dark World. No, East Dark World access. The pod area.
Yeah,
we would need a hammer or flippers, and you know, in a non-all dungeon seed, a lot of runners would just quake for Turtle Rocks. We're not getting in there right now. Not that we could go anywhere without a cane. But in non-key sanity, or non-all dungeons, I should say, you might current jump or do a water walk if you have boots to get to sequence break that. But if you have to kill Aga anyway, you might as well just do it if you need to get over into that area.
Right, and the pyramid, not the worst place to have as a save and quit option. I know a lot of runners get upset when they have to kill Aghanim early and have a mirror, but it's often not the worst thing to have access quickly to pod again, or down into Southwest Dark World.
Yeah, I'd rather have to do Aga early than have to search out that Castle Tower small key late in the game. So, like I said, 215 possible locations for that second item, that second key.
Yeah. We did get a map check. Looks like Hera is a crystal and Eastern is a 5/6. And once again, not hugely relevant in all dungeons, but Eastern having that done is half the way to 2 more items for Chelsea if the Pyramid Fairy ends up being something important.
Yeah, the relevance of pendants versus crystals really comes down to green pendant turn in, 5/6 crystal turn in for the big bomb. Can you get into GT because you've got your 7 crystals? Can you pull ped because you've gotten all your pendants? Now, looks like werfjig going to make a play over to Skull Woods. Not going to be able to clear this dungeon out, but we'll be able to get quite a few checks. And pretty lucrative area in Key Sanity.
Yeah, Skull Woods is one of my favorite areas in Key Sanity. There's just 5 quick checks in the front. You do want to have 1 small key to make this a lot easier. Sometimes you grab it from the pot in the second area by the big key chest, but in this case we already have a Skullwood small, so easy going for werfjig here. Nothing of note as of yet, though.
Okay, Chelsea gonna pick up her Moon Pearl.
Cheeky little hook shot through the spikes there for werfjig. I like that.
Wow, really? That's quite the garbage, Skullwoods. werfjig waiting on the Wallmaster to grab him and put him back in the front of the dungeon. And we'll probably do the one last check in the middle. We'll see if he decides to do that. Can't do the big chest.
Like, this is smart from Chelsea. Gets that Moon Pearl, and instead of doing a bomb jump or anything to get back across, just saves and quits, go back to the old man. Right in place for hookshotting over and doing the East Death Mountain checks.
Yeah, I like this choice. Leading the other way, and I don't think it saves time at all. Probably pretty similar. I mean, if you're going up to Hera with a mirror, that'd be different, but we're going across with the hookshot.
Werf getting bullied a bit by these Gibdos.
Yeah, this is a terrible room.
It's not good. Canis Mario makes it palatable. Just a second boomerang.
We're set with our boomerangs. We're actually going for the Death Warp this time because he's already low in health.
Chelsea giving Hermits.
Okay, and werfjig maybe gonna head over to Village Outcasts and probably Thieves Town. Can only do the front and 4 since we have no way of getting to the back without that big key.
Werf has decided to be a bit more thorough. He's going to check the bumper ledge. He also checked Lumberjack ledge earlier. We found that there wasn't anything important. But choosing to make some of these very out-of-the-way checks visually so he doesn't get burned by them later. Unfortunately, just some bombs are on Bumper Ledge, so Cape is not going to be our solution today.
That's good knowledge to not have to know. Yeah, no, don't have to worry about that spot.
Yeah, and I've seen Bumper Ledge burn enough runners over the course of this league that good to know you don't have to do that. There's those flippers. So that is
there are
access
flippers.
to,
okay.
That's our access to East Dark World. Opens up those
slow access to East Dark World.
It's really slow access, but it is access. It does mean that Aghanim is not going to be required for. Well, the only thing Aghanim could be required for at this point, other than beating the game, is Hammer and Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah, that is one that could happen. It could also be required just for the 2 items in the chest there.
Right.
And now we have plenty of money to do Zora too. So if the runners want to do that, then it's a check they can make later. So far, Village of Outcasts, not much else but those flippers. And we are going to head into Thieves Town.
Yep, no big key, so we're just going to be able to check the first 4 chests here. But this is basically overworld checks anyways, so...
I mean, the nice thing with this in Key Sanity, the fact that you need the big key, is you don't have to make the decision of whether to go in here with the potential of leaving that big chest behind. In a non-Key Sanity situation, that's the situation that our runners would face. Not having that hammer. Possibly there could be an item left over in the big chest.
Yeah, and in Key Sanity, there's just a big chance that there is an item in that big chest. May come down to that point some time later if we find Thieves Town big before we find the small and the hammer, but a lot locks that big chest, so it's if there is progression there, you're usually going to find what you need fairly early. There's a good one right there, the fire rod.
I bet werfjig wishes he had done this before Skullwoods. We'll see if he goes back to finish Skullwoods now. I don't think he necessarily needs to, because it's very easy for him to get back to Skullwoods whenever he wants.
Yeah,
we'll see what he decides.
If they had Glove and Hammer as their access, you might want to go back to Skullwoods right away, but having Mitts means you're just going to be able to get in, get into that portal a lot quicker, and if you find something like, say, the boots down here in the Southwest Dark World checks, you can just come back up and use your mitts to get back over to Village Outcast area. So, not surprising the werfjig is continuing south here.
See how I've got the dig game. You want to do this before, if he plans on doing the Smith chain at all, you want to do this before. The dig game will not let you do it if you have a follower.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can have the chest and drop it, and the dig game will still say no.
And we get a small key to Misery Mire.
It's another one of those.
Yeah, don't really need it.
Yeah, but another nice to have key. Does make routing Misery Mire a lot better if you're trying to full clear it.
Yep, it does. Because in Key Sanity, typically you want to start with the fire locked left side in Key Sanity. And you can't do that unless you have a small key already.
Yep. We did
actually, that fire lock side is locked behind all 3 small keys.
Yep. We did get a quick map check on werfjig's side. Skullwoods is one of our other 2 pendant dungeons today.
I think Chelsea doing the Village Outcast first, so if she finds that fire rod, probably will go ahead and full clear Skullwoods, except for, of course, the big chest, which we can't do. Meanwhile, werfjig gonna make his way around over to Hype Cave.
Getting bullied by this moblin does get the door open, but almost takes a death there. A lot closer than he wanted it to be.
It's a terrible place to take a death when you don't, especially when you don't have that hammer to get right back in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing so far in Hype Cave. Just some money, a piece of heart, and a map, and a heart container.
A useless map.
A big...
I mean, the heart container is not the worst thing ever, but that's definitely not what you're looking for in a Hype Cave.
Pretty big disappointment overall, though.
No, absolutely.
We're just going to take a look at the bomb shop, see what our 5-6 dungeons are. Thieves Town is our other 5-6.
And Eastern. Interesting.
So we are one big key away from having access to that Pyramid Fairy.
And a hammer or an Aga clear. But I think I would... Yeah, you got to clear Aga anyway. At that point, I think you just do it if you're running out of other good checks.
Yeah, with Master Sword and Logic and that lamp and both Castle Tower keys, Agnum's Tower is definitely on the map. This Werf is going to take this south end shortcut over to Palace Darkness area. There's 2 ways over to this area. You can go north and around and hop over across by Dark Witch Hut, or you can take the south route, cut through Dark Lake Hylia, and come up from the north there.
Well, looks like he's going to go ahead and go to pod with just that 1 pod small key, but that bow gets him quite a few checks if he doesn't want to use that pod small key at all.
Yeah, no hammer, no mirror means you're only going to be able to get the 2 chests on the right-hand side.
Plus the very first chest.
Plus the very first chest, and then you'll have to crack your key, and you'll get access to 2 more on the bridge and down in the Southwest room. So 5 items. It's Pod is one of these dungeons in Key Sanity that is you're almost guaranteed to have to double dip it.
Yeah, very rare that you can get away with just going in here once. Unfortunately, won't be able to pair it in with Eastern right now unless he finds a mirror. And Chelsea, meanwhile, doing her Skull Woods play.
Yeah, Chelsea with his fire rods is going to be able to go all the way to the back of Skull Woods and check out the bridge chest there as we get the worst key in the game. And the small key high roll castle for werfjig completely useless at this point. But Chelsea's gonna be able to check out that bridge chest and beat Mothula.
And go for the Death Warp here. Okay, gotta go through these mimics. Hence the need for the bow. Other ways to break around that as well, of course. And so often the bow is leading you towards this check, more so than the Eastern checks.
Yeah,
of course, 20 rupees doesn't really tell us that.
No, the bow only locks the 1 check in Eastern Palace at the boss, and it locks these 2 checks here, but just 20 rupees and a piece of heart.
Yeah, so that wasn't it.
Be interested to see if werfjig decides to use his key here or not. It looks like he's going to continue on into these other 2 checks. Yeah. Not a lot left in the world for werfjig to do at this point. There's back of Skull Woods, Eastern Palace.
And he hasn't done the front of escape. One last check in pod to see if there was anything good here. Big key to pod.
Yeah, not particularly useful in this moment in time.
Not useful at all.
We are going to need it.
Used up his small keys. Oh yeah, of course it's useful in the long term, but and without the hammer, there was no way he was going to be able to get that big key without using up that small key.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, Chelsea on the bridge chest in Skull Woods only finds a single green rupee. Now going to try and conserve her health as best she can, heading back to Mothula. It's not a free fight by any means.
Not with 5 hearts. She does have the Master Sword and the Blue Mail, so that's going to help.
Oof.
That's not going to help.
Smartly remembers to grab the heart here, so getting back up to 5 hearts.
Yep.
There's one more heart along the way, although it is a dangerous one to grab. Kind of making
Yeah, I don't like the way she's
a
doing this
mess
room.
out of this Gibdo room. She's gonna have to reset it. This lamp is not gonna stay lit.
No.
Does manage to sneak that fire rod shot past those Gibdos to hit both torches.
And does need to get the mummy key here.
Yep.
She's trying to conserve her fire rod magic, I believe, to make the fight a little bit easier. At this point, it might be easier just to fire that shot on the mummy, on the Gibdo, to get that key.
A lucky
it does
heart
get a
drop
couple
there.
of nice heart drops, though.
Yeah, another potion here, and we'll head into the Mothula fight. She can take 5 hits with blue mail.
With blue mail, everything does the same damage to her here. Spikes will always do 1 hard damage, and Moth will do also 1 hard damage. Meanwhile, werfjig can do the catfish check. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the mirror to pair it with Zora. Okay, Chelsea survives the fight. Gets nothing. Gets 20 rupees.
So Skull Woods is not the answer. As both those those back of dungeon checks are just some money. I like this out of werfjig. You're likely to orphan this check, and it fits in with him checking out Lumberjack Ledge and Bumper Ledge too. Just kind of not isolating any of these out of the way checks at all. Doesn't pay off here. It's just 10 arrows, but it does fit in with how he's played this game so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty thorough. The thing I like about what Chelsea's doing is she's got 2 dungeons cleared. 2 dungeons that werfjig is already dipped and left. So being able to clear dungeons, the always be clearing dungeons, A, B, C, D, definitely a good strategy as well. But if werfjig were to find something that allows him to full clear other dungeons earlier, that might be to his benefit. And a big key on Lake Hylia Island.
That's our second big key that we have sitting out in the open we can't grab right now. We've already found one of the not great big keys in Swamp Palace, so that leaves just Skull Woods and Ice Palace as big keys that you don't need. Tower of Hera as well, but it's more and more likely that these 2 big keys sitting out in the open are going to be required.
Okay, looks like we are going to head over to Zora now after the hobo check over there on werfjig's side. Meanwhile, Chelsea can do all the South Dark World stuff. And Chelsea having 2 pod keys because she got 1 in the castle. We'll have some more options. And actually, she could go ahead and finish that dungeon if she wants. We'll see if she makes that decision when she gets that big key.
Yeah, she'll need that hammer first to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd still need a hammer.
But that second small key will let her get all the way to... We'll be able to hammer jump into Dark Maze. We'll be able to get the 2 chests that are in the rupee room. So she'll get a lot more checks out of her pod visit.
Yeah, she will. Meanwhile, we saw a Turtle Rock small key in the Waterfall Ferry.
That's our 3rd, so that is critical mass for Turtle Rock. It's now... Once you have all the items for it, the 3 keys is what you need to beat it. Is a small key on Zora Ledge, and having already found a lot of our not great small keys, it's almost certainly werfjig's going to go and grab that one.
And Chelsea grabs the Smith. So going to take the Smith on a world tour. That does mean she's not planning on doing pod at the moment. That Smith won't go into a dungeon. Which is fine. She's probably just trying to save that for having more keys, possibly including the big key. She won't be able to wait for the big key, though, since it's sitting there in pod, waiting for her to grab it.
Yeah, she'd like to have 1 more small key so that she can check Harmless Hellway as well, and kind of make that hammer jump loop a little easier. I didn't see what that small key was for.
There is another pod small key sitting there on the Zora Ledge.
Aha, so that is our 3rd small key. And Werf is going to make his play on Eastern Palace now.
Yep, gonna just go ahead and do it. Doesn't know when he'll get that mirror to pair it with Pod, and he's already done some of Pod anyway. I guess he figures I might as well just get it done now. Clear the dungeons that we can full clear.
Yeah, the opportunity
Chelsea
to
gonna
kind
see
of
the disappointment that his hype gave.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, the opportunity to kind of loop that in there with a pod check with mirror kind of gone by the wayside at this point. So no reason to put Eastern off any longer.
Chelsea not going to continue on to the east part, or sorry, the west. Yeah, the east part of Dark World. Going to turn in that Smith. So that'll be a new check for us.
Yeah, both these runners deciding to prioritize different items in their inventory is what they believe the next piece of progression is. werfjig went with those flippers and didn't really find anything. Chelsea choosing to use the mitts as her focus here is going to do a Smith check, likely into maybe not into a purple touch check. It's really slow without mirror or boots or any sort of
doing the purple chest by itself, just getting to the Dark World just to grab it. Yeah, that's pretty darn slow. So I think she'll probably save and quit out of this and choose something else. Next time she's in this area for any other reason, I can see her picking it up, even if she has, especially if you have like hammer or something to do hammer pegs with it. Unfortunately, just a heart piece for her, but it will give her the opportunity to do the purple chest when she's back in the area.
Well, no save and quit here, so
okay.
This must be a purple chest play. We don't have a bottle for sick kid. There's no other reason to be in this area, so this is going to be a purple chest play for Chelsea.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I don't like this as much because this is quite the time sink. Mirrorless purple chest is just awful. Mirrorless Smith is bad enough. But we'll see what she gets. Could pay out.
Worf getting bullied a bit in this room here with the red Igor and a couple of Stalfos. Does get through though.
Yeah, he'll get his Master Sword for this, so that'll be good for him.
Chelsea's not going to do his purple chest. Where is? Oh, she's gonna head over to the. She's going to do her bumper ledge check because she didn't do that before.
She might be heading over to Catfish from the north side.
Yeah,
this is that is a choice.
Yeah, this is the other way to get over to East Dark World with those flippers. We saw werfjig earlier take the south route, hopping into Lake Hylia. We might see Chelsea. It does look like Chelsea's going to cut across the north side over by Dark Witch Hut.
I think this is a little bit faster if you're not doing the checks with it. But the thing what I don't like is you're going right by Graveyard Ledge and you can't do it.
Yeah, not gonna be able to do Graveyard Ledge in this loop. Wouldn't need a mirror once you get the boots to do the 2 boots checks in the North Dark World, but it's often better to try and loop those in with your Graveyard Ledge check if you can. So you're gonna be missing out on a bunch of checks here that she just can't do in order to come over and check Catfish.
Okay, werfjig gonna go ahead and do Front of Escape, and he can also do he could actually full clear Castle Tower if he wants to, or you even just check the first 2 items.
Asking what our runners have left on the board here. We have an Ice Palace play we can make. No hammer means you can't get through the dungeon, but there are a few things you can check without that hammer. And Canis Samaria, like 3 or 4 chests you can check in that position. Aghanim's Tower has 2 checks we've not looked at yet. And with 3 pod keys in Logic, most of pod is available at this point.
Looks like Chelsea's going to continue to take this over the pyramid, and maybe she does her pod play from this direction.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's going to be happening here. Purple chest is also, as chat points out, is also a check that is in Logic that we have not seen yet. So there's still a few things on the table. Not a ton, though. We'll find out which of our runners finds the right path here pretty soon. So I assume I would be shocked if werfjig headed back to pod after going through escape here. My guess is werfjig is probably going to head up to Aghanim's Tower.
Yeah, I think so. You're right here.
If you put up escape this long, you might as well do it.
And it gives you that better Dark World access to the west, to the east side. So I think that's what I would do.
The first look at the pyramid, I think. I don't think werfjig stepped over here. We just signed a piece of heart on the ledge, though.
Unfortunately, Chelsea's going to go into pod before heading over to Zora. That third pod small key would have been really nice to have going in here.
Yeah, absolutely. werfjig doing a really good job of setting up a death warp. Took it right to the edge, and we'll get to get warped out and check Dark Cross here. We'll see what he does after that.
Okay, Chelsea heading over to pod. We got plenty of money now.
So 2 small keys. I think Chelsea will probably just head in the front door and head all the way to the back. Set up a death warp in Dark Maze and then do the right-hand checks.
Be reasonable. I mean, she can't do without the hammer. You're not gonna be able to cheat on getting to those other checks anyway. So, okay, there's the death warp.
It'll be interesting to see if Chelsea does end up checking that Stalthos chest, which has our big key, as werfjig is going to head up to Agdam's Tower now. I like this play out of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is the right call for him. Even if there's nothing in those chests, it is something you have to do at some point anyway. And we have both Castle Tower small keys, and it gets you that East Dark World access without having to walk all the way around from the portal in Kakariko.
Yeah, and this also just opened up to werfjig. He just picked up that Master Sword in Eastern Palace, so I imagine he's been putting off the front of escape until he found that other sword or cape.
So it's a bit of a time save over Chelsea, who's already done the front of escape. Not a huge one, but every little bit counts. And a powder. We can't do that yet.
Nope. No,
not until we have a mirror. No mirror, no hammer. Means powder is just a nice safety item for now.
Yeah, and our runners are still at the point where having that powder safety isn't the worst thing in the world. 7 and 8 hearts, definitely a health total you can beat the game on, but you're going to want to feel a lot more confident as werfjig getting bullied by these guards.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. Chelsea, on the other hand, wants to take damage because she needs to death warp out of here.
So nothing in the 2 Agdam's Tower checks, but like you said earlier,
quest. But a delayed fetch quest.
A delayed fetch quest and a heart piece, but the easy access to pod later may pay off in the long run for werfjig. Also, with Thieves Town Big Key being the only thing between us and Pyramid Ferry, having this portal done is definitely going to be a boon.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we're going to get to see some of the backup pod over on Chelsea's side.
Yeah, she used her 2 keys. She's not gotten the big key as of yet, so this is a little awkward.
Yeah, that's actually really unfortunate that she doesn't have that big key yet, because she's going to hammer jump over here, get the 2 Dark Maze chests, and then she'll get that big key by going back in and checking those first 2 item locations. And have to make a decision. Do I go back in for that big chest or not? And so far, nothing in the rupee basement for us.
Yeah, having that second small key is actually going to hurt Chelsea a little bit, because it made a lot more sense to just head back here and set up your hammer jump. But we know that big chest, or that big key, is 1 floor down.
Whereas when werfjig gets back here, he probably has enough, depending on how many small keys he has, he would definitely be able to at least check this.
Chelsea does get her hammer jump done. Take a look at these 2 chests in Dark Maze. Not in logic until you get, I think
it's all 6.
All 6 for these, yeah. There's a cape.
Okay. It doesn't really lead us to anything since I gotta make a spike cave.
Still need a hammer for that one, though.
Still need a hammer. Still need no, I know I'm doing it now, but eventually could lead us to spike cave. Those rupees don't lead us to anything. Chelsea death warping, so that means she is going to check that last chest.
Yep. We'll find her big key there, and might see some anger slashes.
Maybe.
Looks like at least 4 blue balls on werfjig's side. It is 4 blue balls. It's a little lengthy Aghanim fight that both runners are going to have to go through.
Okay, let's see. What are we going to do? We're going to go back in, or are we going to just walk away? I mean, it's still an out-of-logic check, so I can definitely see the argument for... she's going to go for it. I can see the argument either way. You're here. Just do it now. On the other hand, it is an out-of-logic check, and you will be back here. So doing it later can also make sense.
Yeah, but this big chest has something. It's going to be...
it'll be very big.
Very big. Although werfjig is heading right over here as well. So it's going to take that second pod small that he has. And already has a pod big. So we'll be able to check this shortly after Chelsea gets to look at it. Nothing else of note here in pod, though, other than... that powder, or no, werfjig got the powder in Aghanim's tower. So yeah, nothing really of note in pod here. So if this big chest has nothing, it looks like Ice Palace is our next big play. Our first bottle.
Okay.
Is another
logic.
check. Yeah.
It's another out of logic check. Might incentivize Chelsea to head over to do that purple chest, because you could turn that bottle in and then grab the purple chest. Doesn't look like that's what she's doing. Maybe she's going to do the Zora play. This could be the flippers checks for her. Yeah,
this might be flippers. This might be an Ice Palace play at this point as well. I would maybe go with Ice Palace first. Or no, you don't have a mirror, so there's no point in doing Ice Palace first. The one nice thing about bottle as the item there is for out of logic check is it becomes a lot easier for that sick kid to become an in logic check than it would be if it was, say, a shovel or the mushroom.
Mm-hmm. Right, because there are 3 other bottles out there. Of course, so we're already on our second dip of pod for werfjig. Gonna have at least one more, so it's at least gonna be a triple dip. I hope he doesn't manage to end up making it a quadruple dip. That would just be really feels bad.
Yeah, on the 4th dip, the chip is decomposed to the point where it just falls apart, and you don't. It's no good for anyone.
Absolutely. Chelsea gets that Turtle Rock small key and a heart piece, and gonna turn her bottle in for something. Green is good.
Green's better than a B, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Obviously, ideally, you'd want a blue, but a green is nice when you're going into Ice Palace, where magic use is pretty heavy. Obviously, we can't beat the dungeon, but without that hammer, unless we find the hammer, which wouldn't be the strangest thing ever.
So I'm kind of surprised that Werf misses hammer yelp, so he's trying again. It won't surprise me once he does this to take a death warp in the dark maze, and then he'll be able to check the big key chest, the vanilla big key chest, and then hard reset if it's nothing and save that key.
Yeah, he could do that. That's not a bad play in this situation.
And then if it's something, great. If it's not, then you have that extra key that once you find the hammer, you can just rush to the back of the boss and not to worry about finding a 4th pod key.
And Chelsea is looking not so happy to find one more pod key back there.
Yeah.
I don't think did he do the death warp?
He did do the death warp.
Have.
So
yeah,
he's gonna check this this vanilla big key chest. Like I said, it's a nothing. Well, I won't be surprised if he just hard resets it. This is another one of those locations that's locked in behind all of the small keys of pod.
6. Yeah, everything left in pot is locked behind all 6. The Helmosaur, the big key chest, and the Carmel Hellway.
And there is that
Just
the
the
pod map. It's just the chef's kiss on all of it, and there is that hard reset. So Werf is going to be able to save that small key. And it looks like Chelsea is going to choose to do purple chest at this point.
I'm fine with doing purple chest. I would have liked to see her turn in that bottle first. That could be I intended to turn that bottle in first, but oops, that does happen.
Yeah, it looks like Werf is going to check out Sick Kid here. We'll see what our lazy little friend has for us. Just a fine lunch.
Nothing on Sick Kid. I mean, not a huge surprise. That's an out of logic check. Purple chest being in logic check. This could be something big. We're running out of locations that things could be at.
Yeah, we're getting down to Ice Palace as our last location. And neither of our runners seem to want to hop into Ice Palace without the hammer or a Keen of Samaria, because you're giving up so many checks.
Yeah. Small key to Thieves Town. Okay, well, it's good to find that before you find the big key. That could pay out big for Chelsea, but it's a to be determined. Since we can't even get into the back of Thieves Town yet. We're going to finish up Skull Woods. Not going to get anything out of it other than an important pendant to finish the game.
Yeah, and now Chelsea is going to take this slow walk back to check out Sick Kid.
Yep. I can't think of anything else you can do, so it must be the Sick Kid check.
So both our runners should be getting out of where their checks are fairly close to each other. Chelsea will have a little bit of advantage. I think that Chelsea just has either checking one location with his pod small, or
Castle Tower,
diving into Ice Palace, or Castle Tower. Yeah.
Yep.
Werfjig does have Castle Tower the way, whereas Chelsea does not. But Chelsea has already checked the front of Escape. Has already checked everything in that area. So it's a much less dense location than Ice Palace is. But that is where Chelsea's going to go.
Going for it. Yeah, for all the same reasons, this is fine. Get that east Dark World axis easily. We're probably going to do purple chest before. Well, I don't know. Maybe do purple chest first. Maybe do Ice Palace first. Would be interesting to see. It looks like Ice Palace is going to be the. He has not. So he has a choice between Ice Palace and Smiths.
I wouldn't be surprised if he chose Ice Palace over Smiths at this point.
Yeah, they both kind of stink, really. I mean, you got the choice between two bad checks, really, but Ice Palace does have a little bit more density, I'd say. And
Ice Palace is going to have. Yeah, Ice Palace is going to have your Pengator chest, your Freezer chest, Ice Tea, and Spike chest. So 4 checks that are going to be available to our runners.
Yep. Yeah, the argument for doing Smiths first is if you find the cane or the hammer to do it. The argument for doing ice is exactly what you said. There's just more items. Chelsea gets that powder that we still can't turn in.
Yeah, and an hour in and no hammer, you're starting to think of what has my opponent done that I haven't? What is likely that my opponent has done that I haven't? And maybe in Werf's mind that maybe the Smith chain is something that Chelsea didn't do, whereas ice is a little bit more dense.
Yep.
Not just saving and quitting out of here leads me to believe that he is going to do at least the Smiths.
Yeah, it sure seems that way.
I'm honestly not sure if that's faster than save and quitting, but
yeah, I don't know either. So once Chelsea gets done with the Castle Tower, she's only going to have one choice, I believe. Unless we're forgetting something.
And I think that all she has left at this point is Ice Palace. So if werfjig decides to do the full train, we're going to be looking at both our runners heading into ice close to each other.
Yeah, yes we are. So Chelsea maybe gets there a little bit sooner. It really depends on whether werfjig goes all the way with the purple chest.
Yeah, having a saving quit anyways may make it less likely for werfjig to do purple chest. With no boots, you're going to have to walk to Smith's, turn in your Smith, walk back to the portal.
No boots. No boots, no mirror, no flute. This is the absolute worst case scenario for Smith Chain. And all we're going to get out of it is a Thieves Town small key. Which might be progression, but it certainly is not immediate progression since we don't have the Thieves Town big key. Chelsea getting hit by one of those blue balls. That's be among. Oh, careful, Chelsea.
Yeah, this would be
dying to Aga 1 just should not happen, and that would just be really, really bad.
The worst possible of deaths. Yeah. There's really no way to speed the climb up. You're still gonna have to go through that dark maze. You're still gonna have to. It's horrible. So there is the save and quit on werfjig's side. He's not going to go grab purple chest. Okay. We're looking at an Ice Palace play now from werfjig.
Okay, so he's going to get into Ice Palace first, and still to be determined whether that Thieves Town small is going to be an issue.
Yeah, we still need a ton of items. We still need a mirror. We still need Cane of Samaria. We still need an ice rod. We still need a hammer. So,
and I'm sure the runners would really like some boots.
Oh yeah, boots are. We still need a flute. Absolutely need a flute.
Need a flute. Yep. We're not bad on keys, although there's we still need a Turtle Rock big key. We still need a Thieves Town big key. A Desert big key. Logically, we need the Hera one, but with the hook shot, we'll Hera pot.
Yeah, Chelsea's heading over to Ice Palace as well, so a bit of a time lead for werfjig here. Information-wise, we're pretty much neck and neck, though. werfjig has that one extra check in pod, which was nothing. And our first chest is just 10 arrows.
Not a good start. And this is exactly why I talk about this all the time. As great as Icebreaker is, you still need to know how to do that Ice Palace bomb jump. Although here, maybe don't do it because, the only way doing the bomb jump here benefits you is if you actually find the hammer here. If you don't find the hammer here, then you're going to find whatever other progression, maybe a mirror. Yeah, most likely mirror, I think. It could be boots. There's a couple of checks behind the boots. And then you don't have to worry about the bomb jump. We'll see what werfjig decides to do.
Yeah, it's the problem is if you don't bomb jump and you find the mirror, then you're gonna have to death warp.
No, you're fine if you find the mirror. If you find the hammer,
if the hammer, right? Yeah, if you find the hammer, you're gonna have to death warp.
Yeah, exactly. werfjig gonna choose not to.
It's just fine. If you do find the hammer, you're still getting 2 more checks out of here.
Yep.
And then you just choose to death warp, and it's a little slower, but not so much that it's worth fighting a fiddly bomb jump. Neither runner's coming in here with a key, so they're gonna have to take the long way around and get to those get to spike chest and those 2 hammerlock chests if they do end up finding a hammer here. Which nope, just a map in our second check of Ice Palace.
It's fine. Fine, because we do have the hook shot.
And Chelsea's gonna forgo the bomb jump as well. Check
Okay,
number
Ice-T,
3.
what?
Just some bombs.
Ice-T has bombs. Okay.
So that
it's
leaves
the
Spike
room.
Chest. Yep. I can't think of anything else that's still off our radar.
I can't either. And we're about to see it.
The flute.
The flute. Okay, well that opens stuff up.
Yep, that'll be.
That's not one we mentioned, but it does indeed open stuff up in the Mire area.
Yep, 2 checks for sure in Mire area, plus likely to be able to get in there. We're 2/3 of the way to having all our medallions, so that'll be another 7 checks. Or yeah, we have the Mire big, so yeah, another 7 checks.
Yeah, can't do Vidi yet unless the cane's in there.
All that progression, all of those checks to last location, the flute.
Well, it's an ice palace without the hammer, so can you be that surprised?
No, absolutely not.
I mean, it's not neither one quite last location because Chelsea still has those pod checks and werfjig still has the purple chest. But logically, I think Chelsea did last location it because those pod checks are not in logic. Purple chest, of course, is. And gets her flute.
And werfjig's pheasant is present. It's going to head over to the Mire area, the only place, only place with some items now. Both these runners have just got to be feeling, what is this seed? It's been quite a nightmare. Bombos are my medallions. We'll be able to get in there. So
yeah, no surprise.
So a total of 9 checks have opened up here for both the runners. Swamp Small, that's an important one.
Small keys.
Nothing to do with it right now, but absolutely
Nope.
hard required.
No mirror to do anything with that right now. We'll see what Mire has for us. If we do happen to find the cane in here, then we can finish this. Wouldn't be the strangest thing in the world, especially since that would also open up Turtle Rock for more progression.
Yeah, I'm sure neither of these runners have had experience with Tina Samaria in Misery Mire.
Yeah, that never happens.
No. Mire 2 with no boots, no beams. It'll be slow going here for werfjig. This is one of the more one of those rooms that for casual playthrough is just a giant mess, and the speedrun makes it look like art.
Yeah. Could have used some fire rod shots. Mire has a lot of places where you can get magic. Not a lot of places where you can get health. And with those Misery Mire small keys, we will do the key sanity route, which is do the left side first. Yeah, saving that magic, using the lamp to light the torches here even.
Yeah, this one leads me to believe that there's another pod small. It's our 4th one. werfjig is going to do our cutscene chest next. Getting bullied by these slugs. Mire is just a collection of miserable rooms.
Well, it is Misery Mire after all.
It's not a lot
Chelsea
of fun
gameplay. A little bit
this
easier time with that first room.
Yeah, she'd had sword
Chelsea
beam,
with
so.
full health. Not a lot of places where runners like to have sword beams, so that room is definitely one of them. But she's not going to do the normal key sandy route, even with those 2 small keys.
Kind of surprising. This is a chest with hook shot. You can just hook over to and check on your way downstairs. There's our shovel. That's something that our runners did not want to see. Is yet another fetch quest. At least this one is completable, unlike every other fetch quest we have.
Yep. I really hope it's not that shovel for a cane. I'm sure chat would love that though.
Yeah, that sounds like a SpeedGaming chat special right there.
It really does.
Another map in its own dungeon.
Wow.
So these two non-key sanity checks are absolute garbage.
Okay, Chelsea, now I'm going to go ahead and do that left side.
Werf is going to take a look at our big chest and our map chest over here. There's those boots. So that's
2 checks.
That's 2 checks. I don't know if either of our runners actually looked at the torch and desert. And there's a mirror.
There we go. That's progression. Like actual progression.
Not going to be able to finish this dungeon though. It's going to require double dip, but that is a lot of goods in one dungeon. Werf heading downstairs. Not sure why.
Okay, he just... Yeah, there's... Yeah, I mean, muscle memory is a thing. Wait, what? Why is he going back in?
He has one more check. I forget what it was.
What did he...
I think he missed...
Did he forget the bridge chest?
He forgot the bridge chest, which is going to end up being nothing. But it does mean he has to go through Mire 2 again.
Honestly, having already gotten the progression he's gotten, if I had made that mistake... I mean, I wouldn't purposely skip it. But if I had made the mistake to leave, I think I just leave.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's going to give Chelsea a bit of time to catch up a little bit. Granted, Chelsea not that far behind. It has done that extra purple chest check. werfjig going to be able to do that one a lot faster, though, because she's got the mirror and the flute when it comes down to it.
Yeah. And Werf doing this thing that I think all of us have done at some point. We just picked up the boots. We've been playing the seed for an hour and 15 minutes and just totally forgetting that you have boots.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
get another check in this area, though, because we have a mirror. We can go check Checkerboard Cave.
Yes, we can. See if this is anything.
If by anything you mean 10 arrows, then yes, it is anything. Chelsea just saving quitting, not using that mirror to get out.
Yeah, not thinking about the checkerboard. Not a huge deal. Oh, and werfjig also going to check the
torch out. Like I said, I don't think either of our runners checked torch when they did their desert dip earlier.
Just bombs.
Chelsea immediately going to check these boots checks.
Mm-hmm. Chelsea going to save a little bit of time if she never remembers to go back to checkerboard. The torch, less of a concern because she's going to be likely be there anyway for the big chest.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, Chelsea choosing to orphan Graveyard Ledge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and werfjig's going to do Hera, it looks like. Or maybe not.
No, I think we're going to see the full North Dark World loop here from werfjig. Yeah, he's going to get this portal and then head to the North Dark side and do these 2 boots checks along with Graveyard Ledge. Mm-hmm. So something is there in Graveyard Ledge. It's going to be bad news for Chelsea.
Yeah. In the meantime, we also have K45. We also have Bombo's tablet. A lot of things just opened up for us. I don't think Chelsea's checked Lumberjack yet. This might be a blind check.
Yeah,
there's a shield there.
Yeah, there's just a shield here, but yeah, it's going to be a blind check. No reason for Chelsea not to take a look at this at this point. Made all the requirements.
Mm-hmm.
2 boots checks did not yield anything. Let's see what this Graveyard Ledge has. Oh dear.
Big key 2.
Oh dear.
Ooh. That's unfortunate for Chelsea.
That's an important one.
And that might be the progression. Now, if there's nothing in these other 2 checks... Oh, there's a big key here, too.
There's a big key here. Could be our Turtle Rock. Could be our Skull Woods. Is not the one you want to see. And there's also a big key on Lake Kelly Island that is now in Logic too.
Yep. So from Chelsea's standpoint, it's not the worst thing in the world because it's one check that she probably doesn't go check right now. Where is she going now? Oh, she's going to the Dark World this way because no hammer. Okay. Right. Because she wants to check probably Bombo's tablet and K45. But the fact that big key doesn't lead her down a path of she's gonna get the big key over on the island. Yep.
Hoping that is Desert or Thieves Town, which we know it's not going to be Thieves Town. werfjig taking the Thieves Town big key and is immediately making his way in to check the back out. No hammer yet, so that one big chest is still inaccessible.
Yep. So if Chelsea could somehow find that hammer before getting into
Turtle Rock big is
a big one.
Still can't do anything in Turtle Rock.
Still no hammer.
No hammer. No Cane of Samaria. Can't.
I'm telling you, late hammer just messes me up. No Quake.
We need 3 things to even get into Turtle Rock, and then a 4th to beat it.
Unfortunately, not doing the 2 south checks. So she's going to go into. She's not going to have the advantage of that small key in Thieves Town, which is unfortunate for her.
Well, she also doesn't have the big key. She's going to turn the Skullwoods big key and see what it is. And then this might push her over Graveyard Ledge. We'll see.
It might. Yeah, I figure that she's closer to Graveyard Ledge than she is to the other 2 checks. So unless this is something that really opens a lot up, like if
this progression there for werfjig, Cane of Samaria in the back of Thieves Town. So an absolute required Mire double dip.
Small key to this dungeon. Totally not worth.
Nope.
Not even close. Yeah, this is going to be Graveyard Ledge next.
Nope, she's going to... Oh, yeah, here we go. I thought she's going to go over there.
She is going.
Like, she had a choice there between Graveyard Ledge and K45, and has chosen Graveyard Ledge, which will be to her benefit. Just some bombs and Maiden's Cell. So one more item available to us here in Thieves Town.
And one more that we may never see.
At this point, it's pretty likely. At this point, we need Hammer, we need Ice Rod, we need Quake. And we need some big keys.
Yep. Big key to Desert being the main one that we hard require.
Oh, there's one more big key we still need too.
Yeah, that's the
most important.
Actually, I'm leaving out the yeah, the GT big key would be a nice one to find. Now, granted, that could be in GT.
Yeah, there are tons of places where the GT big key could be, but we still have not found it as of yet. Just some rupees on blind. So Cane of Samaria is the only payout here in Thieves Town, but it is a required payout. Is this seed going to push us back over to Mire for one check?
Very possibly.
We do still have K45. I think that is it at this point. Oh no, we have powder as well.
And Bombos.
And Bombos.
Oh yeah, now we can do powder now. Looks like we're going to see powder right now.
We also have Hera now and Ether Tablet.
Oh, or werfjig, yeah, or werfjig could grab the purple chest and ignore the powder for now.
Yeah, it's going to be a little faster for werfjig to turn in the purple chest this way. Although he's going to grab this one. He's going to grab this library key first.
Yep. He remembers the Skullwoods big key sitting here that he now will find out is Skullwoods. And will very much regret following it if he does.
Can't ditch the chest as of yet. Got one more mirror check to do here at K45.
Yeah, this routing is a little cleaner from werfjig. In large part because he hadn't done the purple chest yet.
Yeah. Once he gets his K45 checked, which has a small key to Skullwoods, so not very relevant.
Yep.
Come back to the Dark World. We'll be able to just leave this chest here, dash over, and mirror if he so chooses. Guess he still has Stompy to check as well first, though. And a shovel check, so he may do his shovel check in here as well.
This is a shovel check.
I forget, we have like 600 different fetch quests. Pick your poison. It's a big key. It's an Ice Palace big key. So one more check.
We haven't cleaned it. We haven't full cleared ice, so that is a check we can do. So now he'll leave that purple chest.
Yeah, now he's going to dish his chest over. This glitch was found a few months ago where the game doesn't really realize you don't have the chests until you start moving. So you're just going to mirror right next to where you turn the purple chest in, and the game is just going to pay you out with the purple chest contents, even though you're empty-handed. And this is that Thieves Town small key.
Yep.
We get a Bombos check here.
Check. And if this is nothing, then we're down to Ice Palace Big Chest, which is in logic without the hammer, and Misery Mire Vidi.
There's also Hera.
No. And there's also Hera. We can finally get to Hera with the mirror.
Yep. Blue cane here, so our other safety item doesn't do anything for us at this point. Spike Cave was still out of the logic until we find that hammer. But yeah, our runners
Chelsey can do these.
Yeah, Chelsey's going to do these mirror checks down here. Doesn't have to worry about carrying a purple chest around. So we have a Hera.
Oh, we have two chests in Swamp we can do.
We do have two chests in Swamp as well. This is probably the last place our runners are going to look. We do have this big bomb now as well. Thieves Town. Two early 5/6 crystals here, and plus we have this mirror portal. So turning this bomb in is going to be fairly quick.
Yeah, we'll see if this is hammer. Because that does mean Aga was logically required to be done early.
Seat his ass a lot of our runners, and this payoff is going to be a small key for Ganon's Tower and just 20 rupees.
So yeah, we already had some keys to Ganon's Tower. We hope not to need too many more. And werfjig decides to throw his bottle into this pond and gets a bee back.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy is making sure that all our runners are going to be prepared.
Absolutely. And werfjig can head back over to Pod. I think.
Maybe not. No, it's going to head to Lake Hylia.
No. Yeah, Eastland's going to get that big key there.
Yep. It's going to pick up this Turtle Rock big key in a moment. Looks like Chelsey is not going to make the swamp dip either. It's going to go do a big bomb.
I think so. And I feel like just finishing up Myra would not be a bad choice because you have to do it anyway. I mean, Granted, your loadout isn't great for it, but it's not terrible to do Vidi with that cape and
cape
and a sword.
Chelsey,
it's not terrible.
Yeah, Chelsea has a green potion as well, so it shouldn't be a big deal at all. werfjig, though, is going to take this mirror and turn it into a ether tablet check, and a look into our first look into Tower Hera.
The bad part, of course, about Hera is that can't logically complete it. I'm sure he will complete it, but that's going to leave. Looks like we do have the small key, so we can do the basement, but going to leave that big chest unchecked. I feel like I would just do Misery Mire first on the off chance that it had, on the very off chance that it had the big key for this. And again, since you have to do it anyway.
Yeah, there's just so few locations at this point that this hammer isn't locked into, and Chelsea is heading this way. So we're going to see possibly checkerboard. This might be the Mire redip. We'll see what Chelsea chooses to do here.
Yeah, she didn't do checkerboard. See if she remembers to do it now. And she's still not doing it, so it may be that just she won't remember to do it at all, which actually will be to her benefit, because it was like arrows or something that she doesn't need.
We're having some major problems here in the coffee break room and trying to get that crystal stuck down. Forgetting the Izakina Samaria, which is probably the best item to use in that situation.
Yeah, I agree. Or could just use the cape and pull on something. Not quite as much of a break room when you have to still hold your controller, though. And Chelsea gonna head straight to the back of Misery Mire. And so we've done the rest of this.
And this Tower Hera small, only paying out with 10 arrows.
Not a good start.
Pod small number 5.
Pod. Okay.
It's our 5th pod small key. So one more pod small put Harmless Hellway into logic.
Since both runners have done the Dark Maze, they don't even need that last pod small at all to finish the dungeon and full clear it.
Yeah, if we do find that last pod small key, that means Harmless Hellway is a location a hammer could be in.
Absolutely. And that's all Hera has for us so far. We'll see if Moldorm has anything. Of course, these last 2 checks not in logic without the big key.
Moldorm playing nice for werfjig. Nice fight there. See what Moldorm has for us. Our Hera big prize is just a shield.
Ooh. Well, it's a dungeon cleared. So long as that big chest doesn't have anything for werfjig, this will be good for him.
Yeah, looking at a dungeon count, we are that's Worth's 4th, and Chelsea about to get her 4th here. Choosing to go with some spins instead of just slashing that cape.
Yeah, the nice thing about slashing is that the magic just doesn't drain almost at all when you slash. But with that extra green bottle, this should be fine. And werfjig gonna go ahead and check that Skullwood's big chest and be disappointed with what he finds.
Just 20 rupees on
right.
Vitreous, so a green pendant though.
That's true.
That is one more check.
Yeah, that is a check. So in logic, what do we have at this point that we haven't seen? Green pendant and the first 2 of Swamp and the Ice Palace big chest? Am I missing anything?
I believe that's it.
Oh my.
Chelsea's going to check checkerboard here.
Okay, she does finally remember it. It's weird when you can say that Hammerless Swamp Palace is our most item-dense location because it's got 2 items. As opposed to everywhere else, it's 1 item.
Ice Palace is still more dense at this point. There's it has 2 checks as well with Keen Samaria. You can get to the big key chest.
Yeah,
we also have powder.
They're not both in logic.
They're not both
powder.
Is werfjig has a thought.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see powder right now. He just mirrored in the wrong spot.
Expressing his thoughts about this seed. Chelsea, though, does have Hera and Ether Tablet as more dense locations, so that's where she's heading.
Makes sense for her.
Hammer magic bat? Hammer magic? No, it's just a heart container.
So my guess is werfjig heads to Mire while Chelsea finishes up Hera.
Yeah, Mire or Swamp at this point. And it is going to be a Mire play for werfjig. It's a dungeon you have to complete. Does open up another check there.
Yep. Chelsea's starting to show frustration. Both runners probably frustrated with this seed.
How could you not be frustrated with this seed?
This seed is... This is the kind of seed... Like, there are two extremes in randomizer seeds that I think are less fun. The one extreme is what we're getting right now, which is basically gating you everywhere and kind of pushing you in exactly the direction you need to go by just barely giving you breadcrumbs to follow. The other is let's open up everything. I feel like my seeds to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I find with those seeds that are extremely open tend to having your progression be in some sort of breadcrumb location anyways, so.
Yep.
Not sure what's going on Chelsea's side of the screen here.
Maybe she really did go for the coffee break. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, just getting those arrows.
Yeah, not it for logical checks in here. Chelsea's clearly going to continue on up. No point not to. But maybe taking some time to think after checking that basement chest, if it's not here, what her next option is going to be. werfjig using the slash strats to cut down these eyeballs for Victorious a little bit faster than Chelsea did.
He needs to spam that sword a little bit faster. I can see the magic draining a little bit faster than he probably wants to. But this will get him through the fight. Chelsea, meanwhile, having a little bit of trouble with that Hera pot.
Yeah, werfjig did a spin speed setup. Chelsea choosing the bootless setup here.
Oh, right, green pendant tournament. That's another logical check we have.
And so werfjig choosing to save and quit here. That's an over fluting. I'm not sure where he's going to head here.
Somewhere from Sanctuary. Like that's the one save quit spot there. It's faster to go there instead of fluting. But I don't know what he has left in this area.
Oh, he skipped Bonk Rocks when he checked out Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, did he really? Oh boy. Okay, well there's nothing here.
Chelsea with some hookshot strats here on Moldorm. Nicely done on her side. And into Kakariko. So he already checked the Skullwoods big chest, right?
Yeah, I thought he did. And he did his powder. I really want to see those first two checks in Swamp Palace, to be honest. Chelsea looks like she's gonna. Oh, she's gonna do Green Pendant.
Yeah, Chelsea's gonna do Green Pendant turn. It looks like Werf is gonna head to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I want to see what's it. Those first two checks in Swamp are starting to call, I think.
Never a good sign when the two checks in Hammerless Power are calling your name.
Yeah, absolutely. Green Pendant is
just a map.
Oh my god. Game. Yeah, looks like Chelsea may be doing no.
Yeah, she's gonna head up here.
She's got to get the Dark World from here.
Yeah, this is a little bit faster to get to Swamp this way.
I agree. I'm telling you, late hammer just messes with your mind. Actually, I take it back. I'm not sure this is faster because you have to jump into the lake to get there.
Oh, she still has these pod checks to do too.
Okay, that's where she's headed. I like the swamp call better just because the logical implications. Like, this is still not in logic without the 6th key.
Big key to Hera. So, Hera big chest now in logic.
Ouch. Ouch. Oh my god.
Oh, and there was a hammer in the first chest of Swamp, though, so...
Oh, okay. I missed that. So Swamp was the play all along. Oh my god. Okay, that's going to be really unfortunate for Chelsea here, because she's going to clear the rest of Pod here, and not going to get what she wants out of it.
Right, and at this point, we're now just looking for an Ice Rod and a Quake Medallion.
Granted, Ice Rod hunts and Quake hunts can be big equalizers, but yeah, it's definitely advantage werfjig at this point.
Yeah, werfjig is going to check all these...
behind.
No, but werfjig is going to be able to check all of these locations and clear dungeons, whereas Chelsea's going to have to make a 3rd trip in a pod at some point. You know what the best part of all dungeons key sanity is? You found your hammer in Swamp, and you still have to full clear it.
Yeah.
Because we still need an Ice Rod, a Quake Medallion, a Desert Big Key, and a GT Big Key.
We need a lot of stuff. You get the nice diver down strats for the left side there. Chelsea done with Pod. And has to choose between Ice, 1 logical, 1 illogical check in Ice, and 2 logical checks in Swamp. Hopefully she goes for the Swamp play. Unfortunately, no matter where she enters the Dark World from, it's a long walk back over there.
It is, but this looks like it is going to be the Swamp play for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know where else she'd be going from here.
Left side checks for werfjig compass. Never want to see those. And a tempered sword.
So interesting. Let's see if Chelsea does the left side play. It's much harder to skip that in... Oh, she's going to do powder now.
Yeah,
that's going to slow her down to getting to Swamp Palace. Definitely makes sense, which, yeah, not going to be able to get back to this portal. I was going to say, she could save a little bit of time by skipping that left side. Would miss that sword. But that's such a hard call to make in Key Sanity. Much harder than in regular.
Yeah, I can't see Chelsea skipping left side, needing still 4 items.
And of course, our Swamp Palace, proving the old adage that Swamp Palace always has a sword. Just feel that way sometimes.
And I feel that way about Pod and Mirror, but not today. And Chelsea's going to make the Ice Palace play.
Oh, this will end up being a triple dip for her. That's really unfortunate. Because even if she gets something good out of this, like the one of those big keys or something, werfjig's gonna get those items because he's gonna have to come back here anyway.
Yeah, I think the worst thing Chelsea could find here is the desert big.
Yeah, that would take her. I mean, she could finish desert, which is fine, but would just lead her further away from getting over to Swamp Palace. And she doesn't have a key, so if she goes this direction, unless there's a small key to ice, if she does the icebreaker, unless there's a small key in this chest for Ice Palace, which seems awfully unlikely in a key sanity seed, she's not going to be able to get to the logical check, which is the big chest.
Yeah, she'll have to mirror out and back in. It's not that long of a deal, though, for her.
I just feel like if you're making this play, you got to check the logical location first, and hope that's got your progression. And she's having trouble setting this up too.
Half magic.
Half magic is nice. I mean,
it's nice, but it's not required.
Not required at all. Yeah, she doesn't realize she's going to be soft locked here. Otherwise, she would have mirrored right out.
Yep, there's the soft lock.
And if you've never experienced this before yet, so she tries to open the door, and some runners will even go down the stairs thinking they can get out that way. You can't. There's a permanently locked door. Okay, she's figured it out and is mirroring. Meanwhile, werfjig going to do this, and he's going to be able to go right by there because he can get the pot key underneath the block there.
Yeah. At this point, it's hard to see a way out for Chelsea in this seed. This is going to be another minute and a half to get to that big chest, which is likely to not have anything.
I think at this point, her only out is if she were to either check the Hera big chest or the Thieves Town big chest long before werfjig gets to them to find one of the required items that are left.
Even so, Werf is going to be able to cover so much territory from here to there that even if, like, say, the ice rod is in Thieves Town big, Werf is just going to be able to cover so much ground between needing that ice rod and the time that Chelsea is going to get up to Turtle Rock.
For that to work out, she also needs the required item in question to be a pendant in such a way that werfjig ends up full clearing GT basement, and she doesn't. That's the kind of situation she needs right now. But we will get to see what's in that chest. Oh, she's gonna hover this.
She's gonna try
to. This is one of the more difficult hovers because it's multiple directions, or I guess you can just do it diagonally. Yeah, apparently you can just do it diagonally. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Chelsea prides herself on her hovering ability.
Oh, she's very good at the hover.
Nice to see her get at least one in a showcase before.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, new check here over on werfjig's side. Big key to desert. Well, Chelsea's not going to get baited into desert because the big key is the one she can't get to. Hopefully she does remember to check that when she comes back here later.
All right, now we get to look at this big chest on Chelsea's side. What she came here for is 50 rupees.
50 rupees. And you can kind of see the difference between icebreaker versus not icebreaker as werfjig about to check this big chest as well. Not a huge time save when you're in go mode, but when you're not in go mode, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point now, Chelsea has to go all the way back to this portal to get to Swamp.
Yep. That's all I hope that's all she has left. I think that's all she has left. Meanwhile, werfjig going to fight Cold Stare, and with a Tempered Sword and Fire Rod and half magic, this should not be bad. It should not take long.
Yeah, basically free.
And gets bombs, so nothing important there.
So Werf has Desert in hand.
I think that's where he goes next.
Now has Pod in hand as well.
Yeah, I guess he could do Pod or Desert. The order doesn't really matter.
Yeah, at this point, it's still looking for. We're still looking for 3 items. We're still looking for the GT Big Key, Quake Medallion, and the Ice Rod. Still don't know if Turtle Rock blocks our way into Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, we still don't know that third pendant. And Chelsea's going to shortly find that hammer.
Yeah, we might see some anger slashes here. One anger slash.
Just one. And as expected, werfjig in Desert. We'll probably check the big chest after fighting Lanmo.
Yeah, you just want to clear your boss out first. If it's got, like, say, Quake, you're just going to head to Turtle Rock at that point. Because getting the big chest in Desert is pretty quick.
Okay, this should be a pretty quick fight with the Fire Rod.
Yep, 2 Fire Rod shots per head. Gets it all done in one cycle. Nicely done by werfjig. Get the heart container. And pendant number 3.
So now we have Ped. It also tells us, actually tells us a lot. It tells us the Ice Rod and the Quake cannot be in GT.
Yep.
And that's one of Chelsea's outs just got wiped out, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Her big out.
Yeah, so at this point, we're going to take a look at this Desert Big Chest because we didn't find anything that opens up the world to us. And Pedestal now becomes a fairly likely location for one of those 2 items.
At this point, we have Pedestal, we have Thieves Town Big Chest, and Hera Big Chest.
And
then
2
Helm's
checks,
Door.
2 checks in Pod. Did Chelsea get to Harmless that way?
I think she did the rest of Pod. I think she got to all the checks there. She had enough keys to do it, so there's no reason why she shouldn't.
Yeah, so we're just looking at Humira
you need to
before he
open the
chest. Whoops.
In some sense, he's. I don't know how this actually works, but in some sense, he's lucky he didn't. The timing could have been off. I did see a runner during the tournament last fall winter mirror as they were picking up a key in Pod, and the key just disappeared. So they had to reset and lost a lot of progress. That was the Quake, though.
Yep, that gives us access to Turtle Rock.
Ooh, do you go to Turtle Rock now, or do you?
I clear Pod
so
first.
Tough.
I clear Pod first.
No, okay, absolutely, but I'm thinking in terms of those other other one-offs: the Ped check, the Thieves Town Big Chest, the Hera Big Chest. There's no portal sitting here. Oh, Silver's is nice. I didn't even catch they picked up that mushroom, but yeah. It's so much easier if you get the Ice Rod first.
Yeah, I think you clear Pod. Werf has 2 checks in here that are blind to him. One's blind about all of us. And then after that, maybe you...
I mean, if you feel behind, you probably go straight to Turtle Rock and hope it's there.
How would you possibly not feel behind if you're in werfjig seat? Like,
if
you're actually
either
ahead,
one of these, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Both these runners have to feel like they're just getting blown out of the gym. But yeah, Werf is going to head over to Pod while Chelsea is going to finish up Swamp.
Okay, werfjig's back.
Yeah, Chelsea's doing the left side diver down here. You don't need to do a dive into the water for this setup. It is a little more finicky, as there's that mushroom.
Yeah, I find that's the setup I use. I find it a little easier and a little bit faster. The downside is, of course, it doesn't work when you do the left side.
Yeah, I tend to stick to the right side one because my hands are bear paws and I just don't have that fine motor control. Smart from werfjig here. He's just going to head to the back, kill Helmasaur, and may head back in later if Helmasaur doesn't provide Ice Rod.
I believe the only thing he's missing in terms of checks was the Harmless Hellway.
That's correct. Yeah, he checked Big Key Chest and then hard reset.
He safe scummed the Big Key Chest.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Chelsea finishing up her Argus fight. And we'll have her choice of dungeons. Well, I guess, yeah, she could do pod now, or she could go over to ice and finish that off. Again, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's just dungeon clearing for Chelsea now. She'll find that Desert Palace Big Key shortly, which will lead to Quake, which will lead to who knows what it'll lead to, whether it'll lead to this Ice Rod or if the Ice Rod is hiding somewhere else. Maybe for in Chelsea's seat, you do check these one-off locations at some point, just because they're things your opponent hasn't done, and if the Ice Rod is in one of those two big chests, that can be a way to save a ton of time.
Yeah, that could get her back into this if werfjig goes and full clears Turtle Rock for no Ice Rod. Or for that matter, full clears Turtle Rock for no and gets an Ice Rod, and full clears GT for a Big Key that's maybe sitting there in the Thieves Town Big Chest or something. It's kind of a long shot. That's not kind of. It's a very much a long shot, but it can happen.
Yeah, and with how late it took Chelsea to find this hammer, I think you just have to play to your outs at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if the Ice Rod is in... If those checks are just on path, I think she just loses, whichever way she chooses to go, regardless of whether werfjig checks those first or not. I think he's built enough of a lead for that. So yeah, if she checks those one-offs and gets lucky, that's her out. That's her way back in this.
Yeah, we're gonna see Werf take a look at Harmless Hellway here, be disappointed, and then we'll just see if Werf decides that he's in the same boat where he's probably behind and needs one of those offhand checks to pay out, or if he's going to head up to Turtle Rock.
Okay, we're fluting. We're fluting to...
Fluting to 3.
Fluting 3. He's going to check Thieves Town Big Chest. Or pod. Sorry, and/or ped.
Yeah, this could be a pedestal check as well.
He's going to the Dark World, so this says Thieves Town first.
Yeah, this is just the mindset of, I'm probably behind. I need one of these locations that my opponent is not all that likely to have checked to pay out. So let's make it happen. He also has hammer pegs to check here, too.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Hammer pegs is an easy one to forget when you get the hammer late.
And there is that Ice Rod.
Ooh, okay, so now down to the Ganon's Tower Big Key. Now, do you check those locations before heading up? Because Ganon's Tower Big Key now has a lot more places it can be, because it can have all of Turtle Rock plus all of GT Basement.
Yeah, I think at this point you just climb Turtle Rock, climb and do Turtle Rock. But looks like
I think Werf is going to check pedestal. We'll see if he also goes back into that Thieves Town Big chest. Now the other location, of course, is Hera Big Chest, but I don't think you do that one because you're right there. If you don't find the GT Big Key by the time you're done with the basement, you can just mirror and check it right then and there.
Right. Yeah, Thieves Town would be the only location that Werf is likely to isolate here.
Doesn't even pull it, just kind of checks it with the book. It is not the answer.
Just some disappointment.
Okay, so Thieves Town Big Chest is the only thing left. Plus, and Tower Hera Big Chest is the only things left not on path.
Yep. Well, there's also Spike Cave, but that's also an on-path check.
Kinda. Actually, yeah, Spike Cave is a tough one because if you finish you're gonna have to go all the way back around the mountain for that one. I think I would skip it. I don't think I would do it right away, but it definitely would not be a fun location for that big key. Oh, and I missed that apparently Chelsea didn't hit the switch going down for Ice Palace and doesn't have it. You need a small key to get down there, and that she didn't have.
Yep.
And so she's gonna have to do this over again. That's just gonna
more time.
More time lost. Just
basically turn this
time
into a quadruple dip.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, you really got to be aware of that switch. I talk about it all the time. Like, I'm one that I like to not hit that switch if I can. But if you're in go mode, or you're go moding this essentially, because you've checked everything, and if you don't have all the keys, then you just have to hit it. There's not a choice there.
Yep. Happy 2 hour mark, everyone. We still are not in go mode.
But we're getting close.
We are very close. We just need one specific big key. Unfortunately, it's the Ganon Tower big key, and it can be almost anywhere at this point.
Okay, Chelsea finally in the cold stare fight. Oh, missed the sword spin, but still in pretty good shape.
Werf is choosing to head straight to the back here. Does he think that he's in full go mode?
No, I like this call because if you think about it, if it's on this path, we've got all the keys, so we can check Lava Chest, we can check everything on the way. The first 2 checks in Turtle Rock, they're not that far out of the way to check after.
We don't have the keys for Lava Chest, actually.
Oh, we only have 3, so he's gonna have to skip Lava Chest. Now that would just be a nasty location for that Ganon Tower big key. But the Turtle Rock small keys would have to show up somewhere.
Yeah, I guess the first 3 checks are pretty fast. So if he does beat this dungeon, doesn't find GT big key, he can hop back in and do those first 3 checks relatively quickly.
I think the time is about the same whether you do it before or after. So if you can not do them, then you don't have to. Then if you can knock them, you save a ton of time. If you still have to go back and do them, then you're pretty even. Very important though, since we don't have that 4th Turtle Rock key, that werfjig did not open the door to the Lava Chest.
Yeah, that could have been a huge mistake there. I'm gonna check at least Big Chest. See if he checks Mimic Cave as well.
I think you still have to check Mimic Cave. Trying to do this afterwards would be way slower.
Absolutely. Is gonna check. Well, this is smart.
No, this is fair. Check this first.
Yep. And there's that 4th Turtle Rock small. Now Lava Chest is back in logic.
Lava Chest. Yeah, so you check Lava Chest. Maybe don't even check it, but if you check it, you're checking it after you're doing those first 2.
Yeah, you're gonna finish the dungeon first before checking those 4 locations now. Mimic Cave is not the answer.
Not Mimic Cave.
And he is going to go back and check Lava Chest.
This isn't terrible. I mean, you can just mirror back to that entrance, so this isn't too much of a time loss. Okay, or maybe... Okay, there we go. I think for a moment there, this thing, it jumped a little bit, and I wasn't sure which tube he went through. Okay, so let's see what's here.
Just a piece of heart.
Yeah.
So, time to continue on, finish out this dungeon.
Yeah, and actually it made sense that Turtle Rock key was going to show up in Turtle Rock. Because we need it, technically, logically, we need it to beat the dungeon. And the only other place it could have been was at the Sound Big Chest. So.
Yeah.
And there's our last pod small key. Okay, pod now fully in logic.
Yeah, Chelsea's gonna finish out pod here. Still needs to get over and do those hammer pegs. And on Laser Bridge, we have GT Big Key. We are done.
There it is. We're done. We are in go mode. So very nice call from werfjig not checking those early Turtle Rock spots.
Yeah, at this point it's all over, but the climb.
At this point, there are no more outs for Chelsea. Just unfortunate that she went back into Ice Palace instead of going to Swamp. Both runners really avoiding that Swamp dip.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them, but you know, you're right there, and it's so hard to get back there. When they were in that area for both the K45 and the Bombos tablet.
Yeah, they both decided that Swamp wasn't the play for them then, and unfortunately today, Swamp was the play.
Mm-hmm. Really difficult when it's hammerless Swamp, but...
A nice fight from werfjig there on Trinex. Grabs crystal number 7. Just a GT climb to go.
Yeah, we've already done Aga Tower, so it really is just a GT climb.
Yeah, the rare time in all dungeons where it is just a GT climb, no other dungeons to do. All of our pendants are done. All of our crystals are done. Our Agam's Tower is done. And no big key guessing game today because we just found our big key. So just pure execution for werfjig at this point. Temper Sword, half magic. Not going to bother checking any of these chests upstairs.
Nope.
Silver arrows as well, so.
Yeah, this will be a pretty easy Ganon fight. Yeah, 3 small keys. So I don't even have to grab. No worries about grabbing the mini helmet key. Just got to get up there. Okay, get past the Mimic's room.
Nicely done in that room. That room is often very troublesome, but nice done by werfjig. Did not take any damage there. Chelsea's going to check out this this pedestal, find out there's nothing good. See if we get a blind pull or if Chelsea reads.
It hasn't gotten the book selected.
Just a little bit of love today.
Yeah, we did get the blind pull, though.
And Chelsea is going to try turn a rock without this ice rod.
And she doesn't have that ice rod.
So another batch of unfortunate decision making today. Meanwhile, werfjig no problems at all through Gauntlet. Up through both of his rooms. Yeah, this climb has been very fast on werfjig's side.
Just walk right through. Doesn't have to worry about that key.
Yeah, don't need the keys. Don't want the chests. Just pass right through. Get some health refill off these anti-fairies.
Yeah, definitely use a little bit of powder there. Grab the magic here. Kind of important to remember the magic there. I've seen some runners not pick up that magic because they're going into Aga Tower next. They're going to get the free refill there. We're not getting that free refill. We've already killed Aga 1.
So one more boss fight for werfjig, but between him and Ganon, Chelsea's gonna clear out Turtle Rock. We'll see what these chests in front are. Nothing of any importance, just a heart container in this first checked.
Yeah, there's just not much left even to find anymore.
Nice triple on werfjig's side.
Very nice. Oh, and that's a nice setup for a second triple if we don't get a blue ball. Oh, but it... Except that Aga 2 decides to give us the blue ball, so let's do one more. And unfortunately misses that one.
Yeah, we're gonna cycle number 4. No blue ball chance here.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so close. There's that other Ice Palace small key that would have bailed Chelsea out earlier. So close, though, to just a 2-round Aga 2 fight, which is so rare.
Yeah, it requires luck in positioning, luck in the RNG for the real Aghanim to not fire that blue comet. Just a lot has to go right. And half magic, cape, blue or silver's blue mail, tempered sword. This should not pose any problem at all for werfjig.
Nope, not at all. Cape if he absolutely needs it.
And now that I've said this, I've probably ruined the entire fight. Two and two, not the most efficient, but safe, and definitely want to kill Ganon. I think with the item locations, with Ice Shroud being directly locked behind that hammer and not somewhere else, I think werfjig probably feels a little bit better now. Phase 3 down, no problems.
It's a nice early silver shot.
Doesn't quite set up for a double or a triple there right after turning the torches in. Might have to go through another light cycle. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, can't quite get a double in that position there.
Almost gets bumped by Ganon and bringing him back to life, but that is it. Let's get those GGs in chat as we are one bridge cross away. from a marathon seed for werfjigging Chelsea here. Werfjig has the victory. So congratulations, werfjig. GG's to him at a race time, official time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 10 seconds.
GG's to werfjig. That was a rough seed.
Yeah, and be interesting to hear their thoughts as they will be joining us in just a moment for a little talk about what we saw today. This was...
Yeah, and Chelsea's going to go along for a little bit longer, but so that for the purposes of hopefully getting her in for an interview sooner, we're going to go ahead and mark that she is going to forfeit. Okay. And we're just waiting on... Yep, there we go. There's werfjig. And it looks like Chelsea's also going to join us relatively soon. GG's for that that seed.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was planned a week.
Yeah.
It did kind of feel that way, didn't it?
It sure did. Like, I honestly didn't really want to interview, but I really just want to know, like, what the seed looked like from the outside.
It looked terrible.
Garbage.
It looked like completely unfun. Just you guys, both of you just kept getting filtered in. Yeah, filtered in place to place, and then each of these filters ended up leading to like 4 different one-off locations. And
yeah, pretty much.
Eventually,
they're usually bad ones. Yeah, the big play at the end is you were the first one to get over to Swamp Palace, and Chelsea chose ice instead. And up until then, it was anybody's game.
Okay,
I forgot. And then I had a meltdown. That was fun too.
Yeah, we saw you hop into Ice Palace and not have a small key there.
Oh my gosh! I forgot that I didn't have
icebreaking.
a small key again. I did it twice.
Oh no!
I just didn't. I don't know what happened. And then stupid hammer pegs. I enjoyed the goofiness of the seed, but then suddenly I was like, all right, I actually don't like this at all. I am no longer having fun. So
yeah, there were a couple different. Yeah, the flute filtering both of you into a bunch of great checks.
Yeah, into Misery Mire, which you couldn't full clear because the cane was behind. I forget what that was in Misery Mire.
Misery Mire. Yeah. There was it was like
I also had a brain fart there too.
Yeah,
I started trying to clear it, and then I realized I don't have the cane, so I mirrored out right before I realized that I was planning on hooking over to the bridge chest. So then I, did the walk of shame back. I think there was more than one of those.
My mire was fine. That was maybe the one good part. My mire was okay.
You got to
I found the boots. I found the thingy. What is it called?
The mirror.
The mirror. Yeah, that dang thing.
Yeah, Chelsea, you got to show off the really cool hover in the Ice Palace bomb jump room.
Yeah, didn't I fail it the first time? That was fine.
Yeah, but you got it the second time.
I did. That was the only that was the only hover I did.
Yeah, selfishly, when I saw the hook shot on Old Man or on Uncle, I was like, yes.
Yes. You knew the hovers were coming.
I knew they were.
The boots were like just an hour or something in. When did I get my hammer? It was like an hour 40 that I got my hammer. It was
later than that. It was almost like
oh my gosh. It felt like years. It felt like years.
I'm telling you, late hammer messes with your mind. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you are. It's just a terrible, terrible thing.
So my thought is that if it wasn't in Swamp, I just was gonna be mad. So I went back to Ice Palace because I got that big key. And I'm like, it's gonna be in here. I'm getting my Ice Palace Revenge. It just wasn't. Like, pretty much everything that I thought was gonna happen didn't. Like, just nothing was right. Everywhere I went, nothing was correct. And that's okay. Sometimes you're just wrong a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the super late hammer, and then even after that, you guys still had 4 items still to find.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was more because I didn't have my Turtle Rock Big Key marked. So
Oh no.
I was panicking for a little bit until I checked it, I think on my way to pod.
Okay.
To go clear pod. I had a menu where I went to the mirror so I can check the green pendant.
Yeah.
And
How many pod dips did we have today? We had
I think I only had 3? 4 if you count me turning right back around and checking the Harmless Hellway. But
Sure.
I think I only did 3, and I was determined not to go above 3, which is why I chose Swamp over Pod.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I would have felt really bad if, Hammer was in Swamp, and then I dip Pod again to not be able to finish it, and then, that would have felt...
Considering you still didn't have 6 pod keys at that point, it's kind of, I would think it could be kind of hard to choose pod.
Yeah.
Looking for the hammer anyway. Yeah,
true. Ugh. And there was only 1 check left in there. It was just Harmless Hellway.
Right, because you had stave scum the big key chest.
Yeah. That was exhausting.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember what. Yeah, the beginning was so long ago, but I feel like there was some trash stuff there too.
My beginning was especially rough because I knew that. Okay, well we can go ahead and beat Eastern, and normally I can, but when that in the dark room in the back, when the Popo bumped me out of the way, I completely lost where I was, and then I'm like, okay, I have to hope that Eastern has nothing, and I can come back with boots. And then I think I last locationed the Master Sword there.
Yeah.
And that was...
Yeah, that was Chelsey's fighter sword, but I guess technically it was supposed to be your Master Sword since technically it wasn't a logic at the time.
That actually went very well for me.
Dark rooms.
What? We did not.
I'm just kidding.
We did not do that. That is not what happened. He is a liar. That actually went well for me. I threw a bomb to like kind of get rid of any stray popos, and I think I think that's my new strat, because sometimes I'll have like what Werf said, like a stray popo, just kind of boot me out of the way, and so I threw a bomb to kind of just keep that away because I didn't have a sword at all, and I was like, I need a little extra protection here, and it was perfectly fine. I got out of there pretty quickly. So
yeah,
and then I beat Eastern, and I got a sword, and I'm like, wow, this
your
is so fun.
sword.
Yeah, I was having fun up until maybe like 5 minutes later, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, then the lamp in desert to get the moon pearl on Death Mountain. Yeah,
I did not have a single good seed in the league. Every seed I did was it was an anti-Chelsea seed. Everything that could have gone wrong for me it went wrong. And I'm so excited to just kind of take a little rando break and focus on NMG. NMG tournament, by the
Yeah, that's right. I just heard about that last night. I assume then you're entering that.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and grind my time down a little more.
Nice.
My execution needs a little polishing.
So you're saying we can't interest you in Randomizer?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. This was my last. Nope. Absolutely not.
I cannot say I blame you one little bit.
I skipped Mystery Week. I skipped Randomizer for one sole reason, and that sole reason is Randomizer. I do not like Randomizer. I don't like.
You don't want your rollers
of the
and
Randomizer community, though.
Your wall masters in the top of GT somewhere.
Chelsea, you were the first person to run Kiss Priest. How do you not like Randomizer?
That is true. I am
pillar of the Randomizer community.
Well, okay, well, if they put the Kiss Priest in the league, then yeah, I'll do Kiss Priest all day. Do I still have world record in that? Probably not. I had it for like 3 seconds.
It's
when I was
random,
the first one to do one. Yeah. Oh, Kiss Priest. What a meme. I haven't done one in so long. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that I don't know. I've been struggling lately. Obviously our team has struggled. We have been through the ringer, so it's unfortunate, but sometimes it be that way.
Yeah, unfortunately, looks like you'll be moving down into the open. But hey,
Yeah.
lots of people you can beat up there. Then.
To God, I hope. I don't know anymore. Maybe I said.
werfjig, you guys are still alive for the playoffs, so it's really tight.
Yeah, you know what?
For the Misery Meyer division.
This is a very stressful.
Did it work? I threw for you to help you in the playoffs since we had no chance.
That was only. Thanks for the birthday present.
Happy birthday!
No, I was definitely really stressed about this match because, like, we had the playoffs. Like, we have the shot, and suddenly, like, every single match had stakes again. Because there was a point like mid-season where I think we were like 2-4 or something like that, and it's like, well, let's just try and not get relegated. And then suddenly, the goalpost shifted a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't my fault if we missed playoffs.
Are you doing Randomizer next week?
So we don't really know. I think so. Tam is 100% doing Randomizer because he is the only one on our team who doesn't have 5 matches yet.
Okay.
The website says differently because we had to swap Rev for Tam in the spoiler pilot week.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rev really wanted to run Randomizer, but then I also really want to play. So we're gonna be fighting.
Oh wow! So is this like opposite ends of the spectrum? We have one team where the players are fighting to play it, and the other team where the players are fighting to not play it.
I just like playing Rando, but I think it's either gonna be Tam and Rev twice, or it's gonna be Tam and Rev and then Tam and me.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But that's still up for debate. Also, Rev hasn't played in the last 2 weeks because he's been traveling, so he's probably itching to get back.
Mm-hmm. And let me see, who do you play next week anyway?
They got the Double Dippers. Actually.
Double Dippers, okay.
A rematch of Week 7 and playoffs from last season.
Oh wow!
They have been circled on my calendar.
So major playoff implications. Probably one of you gets in and one of you doesn't. So
yeah,
that's pretty big.
That's
This win does put a 6-point gap between you two, so it's gonna. I think one win is probably good enough, but definitely want to try and get the sweep.
It's Double Dippers still has their match. Either they just played it or they're playing it. I forget who's.
TCU versus I don't remember who.
Yeah, that was going on as we started, and I don't know who ended up winning that.
Double Dippers lost today, says Tam.
Yeah, they're 6-6 now. So
Data play 1.
Okay. So.
Good job, Data play.
So yeah, picking up one win should be good enough. That'll put you clear of. One win is good enough at this point. Even no matter what happens in the last race of the week for this division between WJPD, PDTP and
that team.
Old Swagger Jackson. At 24 points, one win will put you clear of 4th place for sure. So
great. Yeah, we're just we're hoping that Shacktool drops a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who they're playing. Are they playing Swagger Jackson?
They're playing Swagger Jackson.
Okay, so we're hoping that they drop a game because we have tiebreaker. By virtue of Triforce
Hunt. Funny how that worked out.
Yeah, we take those. We take those.
All right. Anything else either you want to add before we go ahead and close this out?
No, thanks for it was a fun league experience. We definitely did better season 1 or season 2. So unfortunate that season 3 ended up like this, but sometimes rando is rando and there's not really much you can do.
Yep.
Yeah, rando gonna rando.
It sure does.
That's the words. But yeah, thanks for putting the stream on and the restream and the tracker. Shout outs to all you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks to you guys as well. werfjig and ChelseyxLynn, make sure that you viewers give those 2 runners a follow. They put a lot into this race today. This seed asks a lot of both of you. So give those 2 a follow. Thanks again for joining us today. And not the end of Rando, not the end of AD Sanity Week. We've got 2 races on the schedule in the Invitational League still. Right now, if you want to head over to SpeedGaming 5, we can catch the end of Wolfie for Never Do Chickens versus Zelgadisson in the spoilers. They're going right now. And then at 7:10 Eastern, we've got one more race today. That's Goomba, the Last Locationers versus Trinex, the 2 Pearl, 2 Furious. That match is going to have major playoff implications. So a lot more random to check out. Tracy, what a race we saw. What a convoluted mess.
Yeah, I don't know that I can describe it better than that. So, but yeah, thank you for joining me, and of course, thank you to our tracker, Captain 1977, all of you watching on Speed Gaming, the Speed Gaming crew, and the organizers for the league.
So yeah, for Tracy, I'm James. Have a good afternoon and keep enjoying. We'll see you next time.